Well, I guess it's time to troubleshoot why red just cut off on me. First things we got to do is get rid of some stuff here and get it out of the way. This, I can't remember. I think I got it from Sears Part Direct. It is part of this tractor, and I did add foam to the top here. So what this does is only allows clean air, or semi-clean, less dusty air, to come through them vents straight into here. That way any stuff that's blowing up from under the engine doesn't get down inside here. So I think it does a pretty good job of help keeping the tins and everything clean. It fits all the way down against the battery tray, and it seals off against the top of the hood. So it just pops right out. And for the next thing, we got to remove the fenders, the air cleaner, just basically get it down to where I can do some electrical troubleshooting. So, and just like that, we can now get the things. First thing I want to do is, this is where the kill wire connects to the coil, and I want to get a meter on that and just see if that might just be the issue. I don't know. So yeah, I'm getting some funky readings off that connection, and if I turn the switch on, no change. So there's definitely something weird going on. I'm gonna unhook the wire now. Okay, so I disconnected the wire. This should be, it's jumping all over the place. Okay, so there, that's the key switch on, and that's off. So so yeah, the ignition switch seems to be working fine. So that little wire there goes to the coil. Yeah, I'm going to have to pull the tin off, because pretty sure that may be shorted. Well, so far I'm not seeing an issue of why this thing would have just cut off. I do see a little bit of insulation there, but I'm not seeing. And the coil, I know, is fairly new. I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to crank it with the kill wire off and just see if it starts. Put you over here on the desk a minute. Yeah, let's just see if it's going to fire. All right. Neutral. Nope, no fire. What was that? Well, I'm pretty sure the coil died, but to change that coil, the way it's routed, the plug wires are routed under this tin. The only way to get another one in there is to pull all this off. Let me go see if I've got a spare coil first. Well, I found one, but it's in pretty sad shape. One of the plug wires is taped up pretty good. I mean, I've got a brand new one. I'm on the fence. I'm going to throw this one in it just to see, and if it works, I may go ahead and put a brand new one on it and order me another one, because I've got 4 engines that use the same coil pack. Well, the tool count has increased exponentially. I'm getting ready to pull the flywheel, and I'm not sure I want to use that big impact on it. I may try this guy, but because of all this, I decided to go ahead and dig out my new coil. Stein's part number 440-441, and I will be buying another one of them. But yeah, because this is so involved getting down to the flywheel, or getting the flywheel off and the coil out, I'm gonna go ahead and put the new one in. All right, I'm getting the big boy out. Let's see if I can pop that. Pop. All right, almost dropped you. All right, 4 more bolts and I should be able to pull the coil pack, put a new one on. Yeah, so yeah, the 10s, you know, I might go ahead and hit them with an air hose, but they don't look bad at all. So yeah, I'm not doing a real good cleanup on it. That happens in the winter time. We're just doing a repair video on this one. Fun fact, the flywheel key is non-magnetic. Yeah, it fell out and I went to use my magnet to get it, and yeah, that wasn't coming out. This is all further I think we need to go, just enough to lift that up and run them wires under there. Well, I looked the coil over and I don't see any chafing of the wires. It does have this weird, I thought that might have been a crack, but it's not. I looked at it under magnifier. It's just some glue. But yeah, I don't really see anything wrong with it. So all I can do is throw a new one in there and cross my fingers. First thing I notice is I'm gonna have to transfer this ground wire over to here. It didn't come with one. No problem. Yeah, y'all probably noticed it didn't come with any boots either. So I tried pulling the boots off the old coil, and unfortunately the ends stayed up in there. And I guess my next purchase is back at Tractor Supply, and this is for farm and tractor, and I've got 2 boots left. So yeah, these kits are really handy to have, but that's what I needed. Oh, I'm just full of tips today. A little bit of this Armor All protectant really helps to push them boots on, and you also want to make sure the cap is orientated correctly, because yeah, it made it slide right on there. All right, it's kind of hard to see, but there's a little divot right here that you want to make sure you run the wires through. That way when you tighten this part down, because if you got them anywhere else, it's going to cut into the tin here. So routing is important. All right, so I want to double check all my routing. Looks good. Looks good. All right, so just to reverse now to button it up. Now is a good time to check the starter gear, which looks really good. And then the other thing you want to do is just keep these snug, but pull this all the way back, so when you put the flywheel back on, you don't actually, and make sure the magnet's orientated and you get the key back in it. So before I install the flywheel, I took it out and I blew the dust buildup out of it. Make sure all the magnets are there. I'm not going to throw the old coil away until we confirm that that is the problem, because I can still put ends on it and use it if that coil doesn't work over there. Okay, so once I torque that down, and by torque I mean I just hit it with that big Hemback gun a few times, you want to adjust the gap on the coil. So like I said, these were just put in there loosely, and then what you want to do, put a folded sheet of paper and then rotate the flywheel to the magnets right here, and you just seen it pull the coil in. So what you're going to do is tighten this back up, and yeah, I knew I should have taken the battery cable off. Make sure the key switch is off, and then we're just going to turn this to remove the sheet of paper. Now I'm going to do one complete revolution to make sure it's not touching. All right, so I made one complete revolution. Old girl's got some compression, let me tell you. So next step, throw everything back on it, the tins, and then we're going to see if it fires. So what fell out over here was the dipstick. So I replaced the part that goes into the engine, the rubber part, but what I noticed was the O-ring on this is very stiff. And I did happen to find one that I think is going to work to replace it. So yeah, I want to fix that because it's still leaking oil around the bottom of this dipstick. Before I put anything else on, I just want to crank it and see if it barks. I ain't going to even let it rev up. I just want to hear it. I just want to hear it bark. Yep, I got a bad coil. Okay. I'm gonna put it back together tomorrow. I'll probably change the oil on it, move him back out, and then I'll bring my next one in. Those remember Brother of Hulk has a real hard starting issue. Picked up a new fuel pump. I'll probably have to do some modifications to get that put on, and a new battery. So hopefully that'll fix Brother of Hulk's starting issues. All right, red's repaired. No parts left over. All the tools put away. I'm done for the day. Thanks for watching, guys.